28 years old, 5 property portfolio worth 3.2 million.
My whole journey so far has been a fight for finance. That's not something I want to ignore. You think you're going to feel rich. You settle the property and you're like, okay, this is mad. Like, I'm going to feel amazing. I'm going to feel like I've got all this money now. I have never felt as broke as I did when I bought that first deal.
You're worth 3 million in the next 5 years if you do absolutely nothing. Welcome to another episode of the Move to Momentum podcast. Today we got in the studio Tommy Blackmore, 28 years old, 5 property portfolio worth 3.2 million, works in the banks here in Sydney, Australia. Mate, thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks, Jason. Pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Man, before you were working in the banks and building your property portfolio, what were you doing, young fella?
Yeah, so started like most people, finished year 12, and man, I had absolutely no idea what I wanted to do at all. I'd done all right in the HSC, so naturally I thought, my brother and sister, they're going off to uni, So why not do the same thing, right? So did that, went into commerce, majored in marketing. What was meant to be a 3-year degree stretched into a little over 4.
Yeah, right.
Had just no motivation, really wasn't that interested into it.
What were you doing, chasing girls?
Man, shooting pool at the uni bar probably. Had to redo a few subjects because I missed exams, wasn't even taking notes of key dates.
Yeah, wow.
Very low motivation at the time and scraped through, eventually did graduate.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, I still had no idea what I wanted to do. So I thought, may as well start working, making some money. And after doing that, I realized I was only making maybe minimum full-time wage, so maybe 52K at the time. This was working at an online casino.
Casino?
Yeah, of all things. So nothing to do with my degree that I just spent 3-4 years doing.
Doing what? What does an online casino need to do?
Mate, just speaking of players, and this place was crazy. Crazy. Like
degenerates.
Wolf of Wall Street sort of vibes.
Wow.
They'd have parties worth $500,000. They'd come up to your desk, free pouring drinks in your mouth. It was crazy.
When's this?
I thought it was a dream job for my age then. Loved it. But I realised...
Where was this? In Sydney?
Yeah, this was Bondi Junction.
Can you tell us the company? Or is that not allowed? Well, say it and then we'll bleep it out.
ITSM is the name of the company.
Wow.
And that's where they were based at the time. And yeah, it was crazy. But again, after a while, I thought, this isn't really going to take me where I want to go. Fun for now. I was having a mad time.
That sounds fun, man.
But there wasn't that much progression.
Yeah.
And all my friends were finishing uni, graduate programs, starting these careers that had, long way of progression towards their careers. And I was like, what am I going to do? And yeah, one day on the way home, I was looking through my pay, realized, again, I wasn't making much at the time, but I was saving quite a good bit of it. So I thought, may as well invest, right? I'm still pretty young. It's the right thing to do.
How old are you at this time?
Yeah, at this time I would have been around 22, 23.
Nice.
And I picked up a book, Rethink Investing, right? You might know it.
Scott O'Neill.
Yeah, exactly. Love Scott O'Neill. And I don't know why I picked that one up. I think it just has a pretty cover. It's got the surf and the waves, right? So read that and I just got absolutely hooked, especially by the first part where, again, he'd finished uni, didn't like his degree and decided he'd just basically chase income, invest aggressively, and by his late 20s, he was work optional. He was able to travel the world, do whatever he wanted to do. And
he's one of the goats, bro, in the property investing space, honestly. One of the early guys. I remember I actually signed up with Rethink Investing back early days. This would have been 2017, 2018. And I remember even going to their office back in when they had the office upstairs in Bondi Junction. And but yeah, man, the just basic bits of information that they put out really helped me understand property investing.
It's funny you say that because their office in Bondi Junction was about a street away from where I was working at the time, right? So it all sort of connected. And yeah, reading that part, I think I was so young and a little bit cocky, a little bit naive. I thought, well, if they've done it, why can't I? Yeah, I had no direction at the time. So I thought, may as well just do this, give it a proper crack. And worst that can happen, I'm still where I am already. But best case, I've got my dream life. So that's what kicked it off and that's what started it. And then...
So you're 22, 23, early 20s.
Correct.
And you buy an investment. You've saved up a bit of money from the gambling job.
Correct, yeah.
And then you buy your first investment property after reading the book.
Correct, yeah. So I bought it about a little over a year later.
What was it?
The first property?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I bought a property in Binley just out Logan.
Yeah, let's go.
So I've got the date here. So this was settled in August 2022, and it was a 410K purchase.
410, bro. Yeah. I feel like that's a big purchase for your first one.
It was, and it was definitely.
Why did you choose that?
But it was a mistake in terms of that deal. So I did actually get that one through a BA. And my purchasing power at the time was pretty much like 450. So absolutely
maxed out.
Yeah.
In your personal name?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
At the time, there was no strategy that was given to me. It was just flicking through emails. I think it was like 3 days after paying the fee. I was getting like multiple properties a day come through, just anything.
Okay.
I saw that one, and at the time, didn't know a whole lot about property. Just knew that that's what I wanted to get into.
Yeah.
And yeah, picked up the deal. 410, yield was around 5%, so it could be worse. But went to get my next one after realizing there was equity in it. And yeah, banks told me no. So my portfolio journey from the start was
stifled.
Yeah, literally door slammed.
Okay. So are you still working at the same job?
Or at this time, this time I'd actually changed jobs. Okay. So shortly after reading Scott O'Neill's book, I decided I was going to do what he'd done, where I basically left that job and just wanted to chase income. And at the time, I didn't really have any skills, like high income skills. So lowest hanging fruit is working shifts and hours that no one else wants to work.
Wow.
So I picked up a job at a call center at Westpac, where it's a 24/7 business. So it meant that I picked up I was a young 20s working from 4 p.m. to 12 a.m.
What the heck?
And including weekends.
That's crazy, man.
So yeah, horrible social life was absolutely ruined.
Yeah.
But it was about a 50% plus sort of pay increase.
Nice.
First day in the office was actually New Year's Eve. So
you still look young, but man, you know what I mean? Like you strike me as a young fella, and
I feel old, man.
But you've worked some crazy jobs.
Yeah.
And then so I think that is an unspoken thing in the property investing space. I think so many people talk about like, oh man, look, I've got this property, and it's like, huge strategy to unlock more. But you can only service what you can service. And you can buy some stuff and do some creative structuring and lending and this and that. But like at a point, you need to make more money. You need to make more money and make bigger money. And that was a big reason why I started the business, because it was like, I'm as pay as you go, well, as an employee, I could make X amount of money and build my property portfolio to this. And I was like, how do I get a bit further? I need more income, Income's got to be a big piece. But when do you get back into the property investing game?
Yeah, so what ended up happening was I called up pretty much every single major bank and spoke to all of the lending departments after that. Weirdly enough, I was a bit deflated, but I didn't want to quit. I thought, I'd gotten a taste. I had got some equity in that first one.
How much?
I think around 80K.
Yep. Okay.
So they'd bought the property well. Just the strategy wasn't there, right? At the time, looking back, if I was to go back in time, like I would be buying in probably like Leichhardt, Raceview at the time. Could have bought a bit of a lower price point, similar performance, bit of a stronger yield maybe as well. But at the time, definitely could have done worse.
Yeah.
Spoke to a different BA and said, look, this is the situation. I've bought one property. I've hit a wall. Gave me a contact at CBA, spoke to them, and they said, look, mate, like the best we can do is 250K.
Wow.
At the time, I was like, man, I'm going to get a shed.
do I know this particular person?
It's CBA.
At CBA?
You might.
Okay.
You might. Do you want me to say?
Just tell me if he's got an accent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
okay. Nice.
Yes. You know the one. I thought you might. And yeah, spoke to him, and I basically said, look, this is where I'm at. I really want to get into another deal to get things moving. He basically said, look, 250K, but it has to have a strong yield on it.
Yeah.
You need at least 6%. I said, that's fine, because I didn't want to pick up anything at the time that was under that.
You're going to drain you. Yeah.
Yeah.
What year is this?
This was around start of 2023.
Okay.
Yeah. So taking a little bit of a break, a few months to basically knock on a few doors.
Yeah.
And ended up picking up one in Kerwin.
Hey, let's go.
251. So,
bro, you would have got in early days because that would have. I'm assuming that's a 3-bed, 1 bath.
Correct.
Like a weatherboard type thing in Kerwin. Or was it brick?
It's actually masonry.
Bro, that's a great
I got
buy.
lucky.
That's a great buy, man.
Yeah, very lucky.
But you would have been early days into Townsville,
Yeah.
You would have been like, yeah, real early in Townsville. Because like that would have been the back end of the Perth rev up. And yeah, then I'm like, yeah, you would have been picking up low stuff. Like I bought in Townsville 283. You know?
That's still
and
a great buy.
And I was in Cranbrook, you know?
Yeah.
And I hear that, like that's cheap, bro.
Yeah. Well, the person who'd sold it to me, I got a good deal as well because they'd actually fallen back on finance, like the previous buyer. Vendor had bought it about 12 years earlier, investor, and he actually paid, I believe it was $248 or something. So he would have
made no money.
Lost money, like after holding costs, inflation, fees.
So you buy that place. What was the rental yield at the time?
8%.
8%.
Yeah. So exactly what I needed. 8%.
Mental, man.
Yeah, 100%.
So you pick up the place in Kerwin, bro. You've bought it at like the best time. Were you nervous? Because at the time, Townsville wasn't on many people's radar. A lot of people would have been talking Brisbane. You had some success in Brisbane. And at that stage, people were probably still talking about Brisbane, you know, back then, 2023. Then you haven't missed the Perth situation, but Perth would have been all the rage. And then you're getting put into Townsville.
Yeah, so look, definitely a little bit, but I think I was more just wanting to get in, and I did not. At the time, I wasn't scared because I had this goal in my head and this vision, and I knew all I had was 250K. That's all I had. So you can't really be picky, right? I thought, look, I've got a market where it hasn't moved. I knew that employment figures were getting a lot more attractive. I knew there was a lot of infrastructure going in.
Yeah.
I knew the yield was exactly what I needed as well. Like, you can't beat that. So I thought, at the time, I don't really have a choice. If this is what I want to do and it is what I wanted to do, then you need to bite the bullet. And I think I was always prepared at the time that I just knew I'd rather fail than not have a proper crack.
Yeah.
And I'd only bought one. So I thought, got to keep things moving.
What's it worth now, man?
That one, that's the one that's under contract now.
Yep.
And that is for $527,500.
$527,500.
Yeah.
So they're 500s.
Yeah.
It's worth now.
Yeah.
And you bought it for, like, bro, you comfortably made 250 grand plus on that place in what?
About
2 years.
Yeah.
2-3 years.
Yeah.
Oh, man, come on.
And it's got about 11% yield till now. So, so it's gone up even more. So
good on you, man.
It's been amazing.
So you do the Kerwin deal. What happens next?
Yeah, so I bought the Kerwin one. Again, was stoked with that. Had a great yield. Got that one valued. And, man, I had a lot of equity in that actually.
By our friend at CBA?
Correct.
Yep.
Had about, I want to say 70K.
Mm-hmm.
So good yield, good equity, which is perfect.
And how quick did you get to the 70K equity?
This was like valued within months. Yeah.
Couple of months?
A couple of months, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Incredible.
So did that and went back to the bank, and that's when they said, you've got equity, but you've got no borrowing.
No borrowing. Yeah.
So lights out. Yeah.
But you keep getting all these roadblocks.
Correct, yeah. My whole journey so far has been a fight for finance.
Yeah.
That's not something I want to ignore because I do think, like you said, a lot of people, if they're on a bit of a lower income, they can definitely hear stories like this and think that it was a breeze and, you just buy one, then you've got equity so you can buy the next. Yeah. And cool, you've got equity, you buy the next. Build a 20, 30, 40 property portfolio like you see on socials. But like you said, they've usually got big BA businesses behind them or making a lot of money.
Yeah.
Which you do need because, like you said, you can easily rip the equity out, but it's not free money. Someone needs to actually pay interest on that.
Service it. And I want to talk less and less about my story and more about stories like you, right? I've come from – I love the idea that the client is the hero, right? And to build something from the position you're at is great. And that's what I did early stages. But then you start to add in the business and the business profits, and that changes the way that you can leverage a property portfolio. And I think that's not unfair, but it's not relatable to the everyday person, right? But like I had another young gentleman on here, also similar age to you, Jake McGregor, and he said early stages of his property portfolio was exactly the same. A fight for finance. Buy one. This bank says no. This bank says no. This bank says no. All right. What have I got to do to get something? And that's what he was asking. And he pushed and he pushed and he pushed. And then bang, now it's unlocked him into this whole nother category that he's in now, which is unreal. So you go back, no lending from CBA, but you got some equity.
Yeah, correct. So at this point, I'd had a bit of a taste and I realised what had gone wrong with the first one. And I realised my second one was a much better property for me because
Based on what?
Based on the purchase price as well as the yield. So I think it's all good to have a great property, but it doesn't make it a great property for you. You need to know what fits with your strategy and where you're at, right?
Right, that is so good. That is so good.
And with this one, I basically realised where I'd gone wrong. And that's when I actually did a really hard thing at the time. I took my first one to market.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. So took that one to market, sold it about 16 months later. So I just wanted to wait for the CGT to lapse over just so I'd get that discount.
Yeah.
And sold it for 502. So did
Not
all
as
right.
much. Not as much as I'd have thought you would have sold it for.
Yeah. So it was on market for a little while. And just wasn't really getting the offers I wanted. But I knew at the time it was slowing me down, right? I had equity and I wanted to use it and had to clip it.
What's your biggest lesson with that?
I'd say my biggest lesson would be, it's funny, it's probably not what you're expecting. My biggest lesson would be to take imperfect action.
Ooh.
In my case, yes, I could have done better, but I still got in and I learned more buying that property than I did for all the countless podcasts I listened to before.
Come on.
All the books.
I love that. Yes.
Give a bit of shout out to Moves to Momentum guys. But like honestly, if you taking that first step and making that wrong one.
You're 100% right, man. Taking action is better than like the analysis. And we had another episode with a guy named Andrew Hendoza. He was on here and he was talking about the belief loop. And it's like you don't know what's capable. You take a step towards what you want and then it builds belief. It builds confidence. And you're like, oh yeah, okay, I've got some equity. And then you do it again. And then now you get some momentum. And that's what you're talking about. It's so true.
Yeah, 100%. I think the confidence does come from action, not the other way around. So doing that, I think it also made me realize that even if I'd made a mistake, it wasn't going to kill me. Like I took it to market, I'd sold it, I'd maybe lost myself 10K at the time. It's like you move on.
Yeah.
I think the important thing with stuff like that, especially if you are in your 20s, is making a mistake. It might cost you a couple of years to fix it. But if you get this right, which you will eventually if you keep at it, you've got decades for that success to compound. Right?
Oh, 100%. Yeah,
which is, I think that's the main thing. So would I do it differently? Yes. But I wouldn't say I have any regrets about that one.
No way. No, it's good. Yeah. Was there a turning point of what changed in your property portfolio? Like at this stage, you've bought one, you bought two, and you're looking at the third. You can't do the third, so you go back down to one, just to kill one. And now what happens here?
Yeah, so at that point, I went back to the same broker. Back to CBA at the time, and got a new pre-approval. So this one was for around 330K, and went hunting again. Same BA as the last one.
Yep.
And picked up a property for 330 in Park Avenue in Rocky.
Hey, let's go.
Yeah, so same one, sort of had a 7% yield as well, so pretty strong.
Nice.
And with that one again, bit of a fight for finance. So towards the end, I think a month before settlement, I was told the lender wanted 20% instead of the 12 that I was putting down.
Yeah.
So I think that was at the time they were getting flagged for a high risk for LMI, just due to the sort of BA activity at the time there. And
activity.
So with that one, I did have the money, but I was still too early to want to exhaust that sort of capital. Yeah. So I did want to keep it at 12%. So had to keep pushing back for about a month, back and forth, and eventually was able to get that one through. Yeah, so got it through at 12%, and started that one in April 2024. So that's exactly a year after the Kerwin purchase. So it took that long just to get things settled with the sale of the first one, and then get finance sorted and find the deal. And
then, man, like what year? 330. That's a 3x1 in
2x1 with does have a study, but it's a bit too small to count it. So
okay.
It's a bedroom.
What's that worth now? Like probably 450.
That one's actually been valued around sort of the low to mid fives. It's a nicer property in Park Ave. It's
nice.
Pretty much completely newly renovated inside.
Oh,
it's actually a nice property. Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
I had one in Berserker.
Berserker, yeah.
And bro, that was an absolute
Dump
box. Dog box, man.
Yeah, my best mate bought one there, and it's yeah. Here's some questionable stories about the tenant profile as well. So
Yes, yeah, that's exactly right. But okay, so you do that one, and you're still at the limit of like your servicing, you know, and you're buying all these in your personal name.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Correct. After that one, I went back to the bank again, and that's where he said,
Lose
your
my
hex.
number. Lose my number. Don't call me again.
Yeah, he basically said, look, you've got a strong, like an okay income for your age, but your hex is holding you back.
Yeah.
I still had around 40K at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So basically was able to get a pre-approval for around 550 on the contingency that pre-settlement my hex of 40K was paid out.
Wow.
So yeah, took that, and yeah, had to wipe out all my cash at the time pretty much to pay that off, which yeah, definitely wasn't a fun thing at that age. Would have rather
you keep doubling down on risk. Like risk comes up, bang, you double down. You have to punt that other one in Beanley, maybe walk away from 10 grand, and you do it and you move on. Like that ability to do that. Like man, you're one of 3.
Correct.
You've got brothers and sisters out there.
Correct.
And what are they saying you? Like, what are your family and friends saying you about this whole thing?
It's funny. So yeah, so I'm a triplet, so youngest of 3, but I don't actually tell them any of this.
Oh, you don't tell them?
Yeah, like
they're gonna find out when they listen to the episode.
Yeah, so a lot of these details, like I keep to myself at the time.
Oh wow.
I just prefer to, I don't really try and speak about your problems. It kind of gives them power. So if I have stresses with this stuff, I usually just think, what can I do? Get it fixed.
Bro, stoic.
But yeah, I've paid that out, 40K hex, wiped out. So I had to skip the Euro trip that year for sure. But yeah, got the ball rolling again, and was able to pick up one which I was waiting on a while for this one on this purchase. I was trying to get into Perth at the time, but it was red hot.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, well, I'll take a little bit of a trip. I've worked hard so far, so took a little trip to Vietnam, riding through the mountains on the back of a bike, and my phone starts buzzing. And I looked at the phone. It wasn't someone I knew.
Yeah.
And I knew at that moment, I was like, it's an agent. It's going to be an agent.
Yeah.
I pick it up and they're like, oh yeah, we got you at a good time. And I said, mate, you probably couldn't have picked
the worst time.
And I'm at the back of the bike scrolling through the contract, and I was like, yeah, I'll take it.
Bro, what was it?
So this was a 5x2 in Woodruff. Palmerston.
On. Yes.
Big 5 better.
Unreal, bro.
Yeah, so I picked that up for
how much?
502.
502.
This settled in June 2025.
Man.
Yeah, so about a year ago.
Nice.
Yeah. And this was the first one in trust as well.
Hey.
Yeah. So I realised.
Are you still with CBA at this time?
This one was with CBA, yes.
With CBA in the trust?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, okay, nice.
Yeah. So I couldn't get you can't get the trust benefits through CBA, but you can buy it. You can buy it within it.
Yeah. Okay.
So
you're buying the trust with CBA, 5x2 in Woodruff. That would be a big block too.
Decent. I believe it's around sort of 750.
Man, unreal. Yeah. Good, but it sounds like if you would have bought them, would have been decent yield too. What's the yield on it?
Correct.
6?
The yield was around 7.
Around
6.6 to 7.
Yeah. Nice, man.
Yeah,
So you do the Woodruff deal, but there's still one more property in the portfolio that we haven't spoken about.
So yeah, correct. So there's actually 2 more still. So
still 2 more.
Yeah. So
this guy's just accumulating them.
So a few months later, I picked up one in Coconut Grove.
Yes.
A 3x1. Big block. This one, 1,000 squares. Yeah. And this was 630K.
Oh, nice.
So this was with my bigger borrowing after I'd then picked up the second job.
Yeah.
So I'd gone back to a broker after picking up a second job, and got a decent pre-approval bump.
Good stuff, man.
Yeah.
And what's the second job? Like you just snuck that in there, man. Last time we heard your job was you're working in a 24-hour call center for Westpac.
Yeah, so I'm still working there, but I picked up just working at Woolworths as well. So I worked there now on my days off as well as after banking. So some nights I'll leave a little bit early, skip my lunch break, and basically be on the train to start work at
What the
Woolworths.
hell, man? You're just working, and calling your lender all the time. Like that's all you do.
Yeah. He doesn't definitely wants me to lose his number.
So you picked up a second job. You spoke to the broker. They're like, "Yep, you got some equity. Let's go again." Where does the equity for this one in Coconut Grove come from?
So a lot of that was from Kerwin.
Okay.
Kerwin's been a bit of a cornerstone for me. I have ripped out probably 3 to 4 times.
Yes.
It has.
Come on, Townsend.
Yeah. It's produced a lot for me. So I've been blessed with that. With that one, it was a combination of Kerwin as well as a bit from Park Avenue.
Okay.
And I believe I might have also taken about 50 or so from Woodruff at this time.
Man,
Yeah.
That's the thing. When you start to build a property portfolio, you've got little wells of money that you can just keep taking from. So you do Coconut Grove. This would have been what now? Mid-2025. This would have been 12 months ago.
Yeah, so this was settled September 2025.
Man, they're recent.
Correct. And the interesting one about this was by far my most stressful deal.
Coconut Grove.
Without a doubt. Correct.
Why?
Correct. When I called up the broker to get this pre-approval, they had basically said to me, we've got your pre-approval, but the lender has a great rate. It was about a percent almost under all the rest. But they are an absolute punish to deal with. So buckle up. I remember hearing that thinking, okay, can't be that 100%. So I was like, yeah, okay. It was in the 6s when everywhere else was low 7s. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. About 2 weeks or so before settlement, I was told by the admin, they call me up and they say, oh yeah, you're with this lender, right? Oh, did the broker warn you? At this point, it hit me. I was like, oh, what have I done?
What did they say?
They basically, a couple of weeks before settlement, said, look, we want 20%, not the 12. And this was on a $630K purchase. So absolutely scraped sleep for dinner. had to put everything in at that time.
And they held you to it?
Yeah, 20%, no pushing back.
Wow.
And then on the day of settlement, that morning, I get a message saying, yeah, they now also want proof of your deposit as well. So they wanted all these financial statements, proof that it wasn't just gifted to me.
Yeah.
I was like, man, you guys waited till the day of settlement to start sort of trying to pick holes. It kind of felt as though this lender wanted to do anything they could to just decline the loan, which ended up doing. So
they declined it.
Mm-hmm, the day of settlement, they didn't decline, but they refused to settle. So I'm there with my champagne waiting for the little text to come through.
Is that the ritual?
100%.
Wow.
And nothing came through. And I give them a call and they say, yeah, they refused to settle. They refused to hand over the funds. And they wanted proof of the trust profitability again, which I'd already given. So they wanted that. They also wanted to look further into my work situation because they thought my hours weren't realistic. They said it's not feasible, it's not realistic. So
it didn't. I questioned it too. It didn't sound realistic either.
But yeah, eventually pushed that one through and had them back pay any sort of fees that were associated with delaying settlement. But
how long did they delay for?
Oh, it was about 3-4 days. Mm-hmm. So very stressful few days, and I was on the line to we already got unconditional at this point, right? So I'd already put down about 30K. So yeah, a lot of stress with that one.
Yeah,
very stressful, but.
And that's what, earlier this year?
Yeah, so this was late last year. September 2025.
Okay, yeah.
And yeah, I was just stressed, not just because of the 30K, that didn't actually come into my mind at the time. It's because I'd already seen the bank value that one in the in the mid to high 7s, I think. It was around 730.
Like I already 6s.
630, and they'd already been valuing it with about 100K.
Let's go.
100K in it.
Yeah, so you don't want to lose that.
100%. I was like, I can just rip that out and basically go on to the next one.
Yeah. And you rip it out and go to another 2?
After that one, just one. So yeah, correct. So I went to Nightcliff and picked up a 2x1 town.
Like you were like a Darwin, the mayor of Darwin all of a sudden.
100%, yeah.
You're just a Darwin fiend.
Yeah, at the moment got quite a bit of exposure there. So Nightcliff, little tidy unit? Townhouse.
Nice.
2x1. This was April 2026 we settled. And that purchase got it down to 402.
Nice, man.
Yeah, it's a decent yield as well.
6% yields in the 6s?
Yeah, 6.7. So yeah, decent.
Go. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, it's good property, good area. I think I got a good price on that one because it's not the prettiest. It's I think it would have turned off a few sort of homeowners that were looking through. Yeah. One of the rooms looks a bit like a Macca's bathroom. Like it's just painted yellow.
What?
I have no idea why.
That's a thing.
Interesting choice. Yeah. Might be a Darwin thing. I don't know. But I thought if I can pick that up, just give it a fresh paint before I sell it. Like the actual deal stacked up, good area as well.
Yep.
So
right in the city.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, picked that one up and yeah, that's where we are now.
And what are your plans for your portfolio moving forward?
Got Kerwin under contract at the moment, which should be settling next month. And I also have the broker working on 2 pre-approvals at the moment, hoping to pick up 2 units in the Melbourne region. Yeah,
nice.
Very excited for Melbourne.
Me too, man. Me too. Like the guys are doing deals in Melbourne every day, and this stuff that there was some. Herman, our ops manager, is doing a deal at the moment in Essendon, and I was like, bro, I'm going to call my broker. I want to do this so bad. And I was like, I'm going to snake it if he can do it. And he's like, bro, it's going to take me 3 weeks to pull this off. Like, I was like, all right. But the stuff that's coming through in Melbourne is unreal at the moment.
Yeah, peak buying for sure.
What's your biggest lessons, or what have been some of the hurdles that have absolutely rocked you while you've been building the property portfolio so far?
I'd say one of them has been the cash flow. Like, you don't realize a lot of the time, unless you're in the game, that cash flow, especially if you are aggressively acquiring, obviously people can definitely do more than this, but averaging about sort of 1 a year until last year where I've been doing 2, it's still, if you're doing it at that rate, like your cash flows definitely take a hit.
Oh, yeah.
You don't really have time for yields to creep up much, and you're pretty much just pulling equity from everywhere. So I only used 1 deposit, right? So all the rest are 100% finance.
Yeah.
So like at the moment, I'm about 65K negative, right?
Yeah.
So managing that and getting used to the stress that can come with that sometimes is definitely something that was a bit of a challenge. I think, especially when I settled on my first deal, you think you're going to feel rich. Like you settled the property and you're like, okay, this is mad. Like, I'm going to feel amazing. I'm going to feel like I've got all this money now. I have never felt as broke as I did when I bought that first deal.
Yeah.
Like, you watch all that money that you've saved for 2-3 years. You've been working hard, pooling it, and then you just see it absolutely disappear.
Yeah.
And your account's empty, and now you've got negative cash flow too. You've got money coming out in the mortgage, which you never had before. So I think that is something that was a bit of a struggle to mentally get around. I think the mentality you need to save your first deposit is a completely different mentality you need to get to 5 properties.
Yeah.
You need to completely reframe how you think about spending and money.
Wow.
If you want to get your first deal, then you obviously need to be a good saver, because you can't be an investor without saving first, right? You need to then get very comfortable with spending money.
Yeah.
If you want to scale, like, you got to pay to play with this game.
What about like moving into trust? Like, you did that as well. Like, there's a cost involved with that. Yeah. Did you have you learned a lot more about structuring since you've been building the portfolio?
Correct, yeah. So I've always tried to be learning as much as I could about trust, especially when I was at Property 2 and I realised that I was going to have to go into those to keep pushing my lending. So yeah, definitely learning as much as I could, paying if I had to speak to high-level brokers, doing whatever I could, because yeah, the actual return that you'll get on that is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think yeah, big thing is just getting used to the fact that you're going to have to spend money and getting comfortable with it, and just looking at taking no action also costs. You just don't see it. So yeah, I think you just got to pick which one you want to go with.
Man, I think the most insightful thing you've said is like the cash flows, the incomes you've hustled to increase your income, and what can you ballpark us just for the listeners to understand like what type of income you are on, just to be like, this guy's 28, I'm on a similar income to him, I can do that too. Huh?
Yeah, that's fair. So I'll give you a bit of a timeline. So on my first deal, I was making probably, my base was around 80, and I was working obviously on the weekends. So my total salary package would have been probably around 100 or so, 1 to 110. After picking up Woolworths, I'm probably on around sort of 170, 180.
Yeah.
But again, that's working probably 70 hours a week.
Bro, that's big hours.
Working the weekends. So a lot of that is loading as well as just the second job. So.
Yeah. But you've got a strong job, but then you're doubling it with overtime and all that type of stuff as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it sounds like a lot, but it's not where I'm some crazy tech salesman, or like, these are 2 pretty regular jobs. You don't need a degree for either of these. It's just, again, me choosing to work hours that people don't want to work. And I think that's just something that a lot of people can do, right? If you're not someone that has high income skills, then leverage your time.
Totally, man.
Everyone's got time. Everyone's got weekends. Everyone's got time after work. And if this is really something that you want to do, then sometimes you have to make the uncomfortable choices, right?
If I have a $3.2 million property portfolio, assume a 10% growth rate year on year for the next 5 years, what is my portfolio worth now? Let's see what it says. But if you did absolutely nothing, in 5 years' time, you'll have a $5.1 million property portfolio. Let's say you pay off none of the debt. You got $2 million worth of debt, but you're worth $3 million in the next 5 years. If you do absolutely nothing from now, just out of the risks and, what do you call it? Risks and just action that you've taken so far. I feel like that's incredible.
It's crazy. And that's assuming 10%, right?
Yeah.
My average has been 28% per year for the last 4 years.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. If you're going to jump into a couple of these Melbourne units, I feel like they're going to be in the teens in the next 12 months, and then they're going to be like 20s after that,
I agree. Some of them are already towards 15%. So I think, Melbourne units will definitely perform. And, that's where I'm going to be putting my money for the near future.
Tommy, you're a beast, man. It's been so nice chatting to someone he's so driven, and it seems like you're taking calculated risks over and over again, and the roadblocks are not stopping you. So thank you so much for coming in, man. I really appreciate you sharing and being so vulnerable with your incomes, what you've been doing, and the struggles you've been facing along the way.
No, I appreciate it, Jace. It's been awesome to chat.
Thanks so much for listening to the Moves to Momentum podcast. If you got any value out of this episode, please give us a like or subscribe. Or if you think this is relevant to any one of your friends or family, please flick it to them so they can have a listen.